Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Puck and Stuff podcast presented by, well, A Man Can Dream.
A man can dream.
Look at this, eh? A camera.
Whoa.
Don't be shy. Come on now.
No,
Get-
I am the
show
shy
him,
guy
show him.
here. No, I'm the shy
Exactly.
guy. Well, much appreciation for our buddy Connor fucking back there doing his job. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Shout out for that. We also got a good old friend David here doing some schoolwork in the background, eh?
Hey, David.
Just thumbs up in the background. That's pretty funny, eh?
Yeah, he's a hustler. He's a hustler for
Yes.
sure.
The hustlers are out tonight, eh?
Yeah.
For sure.
It feels weird being in front of a camera, though. I'm not used to that.
It's nice. The lighting is a little bit. That's just why you don't look at it, because it blinds you. But kind of nice. I don't know. Hopefully it gets the good side. Start looking at it now awkwardly.
Yeah, very. Also, welcome to our jersey wall. It'll change pretty much in every episode. We do visual, depending if we talk about hockey or football or any other kind of sports we find jerseys for. It'll be sick. Maybe we'll change it up every time we go visual.
We definitely need a Packers one.
Yes, I know. It's the one missing right over there.
Literally.
It's the one jersey.
Can it get there?
Yeah,
Or can it?
it looked.
I think
It would
so.
notice it.
It'll
would.
fit.
It'll fit.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys, welcome to NFL Edition, Episode 2. So, it's not even free agency, and a lot of shit just hit the fan, like, quick.
And what, like 3 days kind of
Yeah,
thing,
like,
right?
in
that
the
was
last
out of
week,
nowhere.
basically. In the last week, a lot has changed in the NFL, and it's not even free agency. It is very, very weird. I'm not used to it, that's for sure. Should I just get right into the signings that
Yeah,
have been happening?
just keep going because there's a lot to cover.
Yeah, for sure. So the first thing I'm going to get into is obviously signings. The first signing was obviously today was Max Crosby. He got a $98.98 million contract for 4 years. Damn, what a payday. I
Get some
actually posted
donations.
it on the Instagram account saying, damn, payday.
Yeah,
That's a big one. So I think he did kind of have a breakout year this year, surprisingly. So I think he much deserved that. And then right behind him is Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey's brother. It is a center for the Eagles. He got 14 mil for 1 year. He's the highest paid center right now.
14 mil, eh?
14 mil.
Yeah.
That's not much. Then there's the guy right behind him, Mike Williams. He's gotten a $60 million contract for 3 years with the Chargers. And then Landry, he's a linebacker for the Tennessee Titans. He got a 5-year extension for $87.5 million. And you know what? I'll mention that one later. We need to talk about that one
Yeah,
later.
that's kind of up in the
You
air
know
of
which
what
one-
the contract is. I think if you're a football fan, you probably know what it is, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that one later for sure. Also, I would just quickly also want to mention the people that have been released for teams. So we had Trey Flowers, defensive end for the Lions. And we also have Bobby Wagner from the Seattle Seahawks, a linebacker. We'll mention more about that when we get to our topics. And then for franchise tags, we had Devontae Adams, a Green Bay Packer going back to his team after just 1 year. And then we have right behind him Chris Godwin from the Buccaneers, wide receiver, going back. Lando Brown from the Chiefs, a lineman. And Jesse Bates got a franchise tag for my team. I'm really happy he came back. I'm surprised we didn't give him a full contract, but I guess we cleared the cap space so we can get more players. That's all I can truly say. Tristan, I'm going to talk about trades, and I would love to hear your opinion on these ones. So the first trade is the Russell Wilson trade.
Man, so I mean, what isn't there to say about it? Just because I feel like the Broncos really are contenders now. They really did.
Are they, though?
Well, okay, so
It's tough to say. It is truly tough
if
to say.
you talk to a Broncos fan, they usually are always including it's just the quarterback, right? There's not that wide receiver quarterback chemistry for say that a lot of these contender teams have, but it seems that with Russell Wilson there, it might be able to, that is star talent. He hasn't been as dominant for say as he was in the start of the 2010s there, right when the Seahawks were a dominating team, but
I would still say he's obviously kind of had that slump year last year because he was injured for half the season and the Seahawks did not play well at all. And then they started to come back a bit when he came back. I would still say he's just above a top 10 quarterback, depending on how he plays with the Broncos, though. So I wouldn't say he has slowed down a little bit because of his age, but that always happens in football and almost every sport. But still, I would say still top 10 quarterback in the league.
Well, I agree with you for what you were saying though a few days ago. The AFC West. Oh man.
Oh god, the
That's
AFC West
stacked.
is stacked,
That
and
is
it's not even just the
stacked.
Broncos either, man.
Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers, eh?
It's
That is
not,
something else.
yeah, because there was another trade I wanted to talk about, and I might as well just mention it now. So the Chargers did sign Mike Williams, which is probably a good number 2 option for sure. Maybe even number 1 if you even talk about it, because Allen's also a really good wide receiver for them. But they added Khalil Mack. And Khalil Mack, if you don't know, Tristan, I don't think you do, he's been basically one of the best linebackers in the league through the 2010s. And he obviously kind of had a slow start once he got with the Bears. But now he got traded to the Chargers in an absolute stacked AFC West with Mahomes, Herbert. You still have Derek Carr from the not Oakland Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders.
Oakland.
And then you see the Broncos looking like contenders. And there's been some talks with Von Bell also coming back to the Broncos too. So, damn.
Yeah, that's gonna be some scary offense. Like
Scary offense, scary defense.
All those teams could just outscore you like it's nothing. That's what I'm kind of getting from this, right?
Yeah.
See, I kind of laughed at this thing because I saw this Russell Wilson kind of transferred to the Broncos, and I'm like, okay, so they were pretty much waiting to see what Rodgers was gonna do, and then I don't know, because in my head, and I think a lot of other people, I thought Rodgers was gonna go to the Broncos. I really did.
There was a lot of talks of that, and let's be honest here, for like the last let's be honest, for the last 2 years, Aaron Rodgers was like just kind of giving them a little blue ball down there in Green Bay.
Man, he was teasing for a good
it was
like
so
week and a half,
bad.
man. It's
It was
crazy.
so bad. I feel bad, but hey, you know what? Aaron Rodgers is still at Green Bay. You got your quarterback.
You know what? It's okay. You get good Tom Grossi YouTube videos from it. You know what I mean? His reactions are priceless every time.
True. And if anyone was curious about what the trade was, so the Broncos obviously received Russell Wilson and a 4th round pick, and I believe Seattle in exchange for that got, what was it, 2 first-round picks and a 3rd round pick, I believe, and Drew Lock and Noah Fant. Drew Lock was the quarterback for for the Broncos for about 2 to 3 years, and Noah Fant was a good young coming tight end for sure, but they needed pieces to get rid of.
Yeah, so kind of how I'm seeing it is that Seahawks are really looking for a rebuild. I don't know if they want like a really long rebuild, maybe a quicker end on that per se, but I mean, I guess it's just, I mean, you look at their stats the past few years, right, and it just
I look at Seattle and just how they were when the Legion of Boom was there, because they had Sherman, they had oh my god, their defense was so deadly, and that was a key part of why they were winning those Super Bowls for sure in the 2010s. But yeah, they were on the downslope. They obviously still have Wilson. DK Metcalf is a beast of a wide receiver himself, so in a few years, he'll probably be a top 5, top 10 wide receiver for sure, which I think he already is, to be honest. And then Jamal Adams, he kind of fell off as well with the Jets. He kind of came back a bit with Seattle, but he's on another rebuilding team, so sucks to be him. He's getting paid like the most money on that team.
He probably
so
doesn't care, but
no, he probably does. He left the Jets for a reason. It's a mediocre franchise.
You don't gotta go after Jets fans like that.
Well, I kind of have to.
Yeah, fair.
Like, they haven't been to a Super Bowl in like what, almost 50 years,
I gotta say, Jets and Giants fans, the fact they have to share a stadium,
and they're
that's
both
something.
losing.
That is something else, man.
They're both losing. It's so bad. Oh, so funny. Also, I did want to mention quickly about the Khalil Mack trade. Back to it. The Chargers only had to give up a 2nd round pick and a 4th. And Khalil Mack obviously had a lot of injuries.
It's a bit of a. I guess that's probably
steal.
why. Like,
that's a steal, though, if you look at it overall, though.
See, I wouldn't know how value is really worth accumulated in the sense for the NFL compared to, say, the NHL, of course.
You kind of look at it in the same.
But it makes sense, right? Like, you see the injury, but you know the talent at the same time. So you get a bit of a steal, right?
Yes,
and
they
it kind of
did
works out because the
totally get a
Chargers
steal.
really do need to kind of add on their offensive end there, right? So that kind of works out for the Chargers
You mean defensive?
or defensive. What
Yeah.
did I say? What did I say?
Sorry,
defensive?
linebacker. He's defensive. My bad. Then there was one more trade I also want to mention, and this one was from the Washington Commanders. What do you think of that name? Because they were Washington football team or Washington Commanders.
Ask Carson Wentz.
Well, out of every quarterback, because Aaron Rodgers was off the market. Same with Wilson, basically, because he got traded. Carson was probably one of your only options.
It's not a terrible option, though. I understand there's the better options, but I think, I always thought, for me, I see how it was like the Broncos were probably always going to be able to pick the better out of the options, probably because they're probably willing to like give out more and stuff, right? And
Yeah, I guess.
more appealing in the sense of like how the team is and their status, right?
Did you I was reading social media about a little bit this week about it, and the Washington Commanders tried asking the Chiefs if Patrick Mahomes was available.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I heard. They were willing to give up. They have a really good rookie named Chase Young, and they drafted him in Joe Burrow's draft class, and he is a stud. And they offered to trade him, offer.
Oh yeah, so they're really. It just makes no sense though, because the Chiefs are in their prime, or like the teams in their kind of prime years. You
They really needed a quarterback.
but you have opportunity. Like the Chiefs have opportunity to win for the next 3 to 5 years, I'd say, right?
Well, depending if
I can
kind of
see that'd be a crazy. To be honest, that'd be a bit of a fleece job if that ever happened.
Yeah,
My
literally.
goodness.
That would be insane.
So for Carson Wentz, what was the return there?
The Colts got a third-round pick, a 2022 third-round pick, a 2023 third-round pick that could become a second if Carson Wentz plays 70% of plays, and they got a 22 second-round pick.
Okay, yeah.
So basically 2/3 and a second, maybe 2 seconds and a third.
Okay. So
And then
conditionals.
obviously the Commanders got Carson Wentz and a second back. So, basing what I've seen from Carson Wentz from last year, I don't know. There was some times with the Colts last year that he actually played really well. But at the same time, I was like, it's still Carson Wentz because he wasn't the same since Philly. Because all those injuries he got with Philly, it just was not working his way. And it was really shitty to see him just collapse like that because he had potential of being like a top 5 quarterback in the league.
It's crazy.
Especially after he basically led them to the Super Bowl, got injured in the playoffs, and then Nick Folks came in and won them a Super Bowl.
What's crazy is 2016 is not that far gone, right? That was 6 years.
I don't think it was 2016. I think it was
For the Eagles we're talking about, right?
Eagles Patriots. Nick Foles Philly special.
Yeah, that
No
should've
way
been
that was 2016.
2016. Yeah, I was gonna
You're
say.
making me want to search that up now.
Because the Falcons was the 2017 one, right? If I'm
Yeah, 2017. I think you're meaning. I think 2018. Which one was 2018? Oh my god!
You can search that up. I'm probably wrong on that, but inherently what I'm trying to say is that 6 years is not far gone, and so that's like it's sad to see like grace, kind of fall from grace, kind of.
Well, yeah, you can even go back
What's the word to say with it? But I don't know. Wentz has an opportunity to kind of rebound with the Commanders, right, and set up a bit of a new legacy. Washington really does need to start a new legacy, especially with the name change, right? So there's a lot of bit of
It was 2018.
controversy. It was 2018. Okay, my bad.
So 4 years, yeah.
But yeah, so 4 years, right? Like, still, right? 4 years is not that far away if you really think about it. So it's really sad to see that in the span of 4 years.
Yeah, you know what? It happens though. That's sports for you. Where am I at now? So we just got off Carson Wentz. We talked about that. Yeah. So the AFC West is absolute stacked right now. Holy moly!
Be fun for predictions.
Yes, it should be very fun for predictions because if you look, so I have the divisions right now, and with the AFC West, you have Denver, looks like a Super Bowl contender. You have the Chiefs, already a Super Bowl contender. You have God damn it, I did it again. Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
They're not they're kind of weird because they're a contender, but at the same time, they're not. Like, it's weird to describe.
They're definitely a playoff contender for sure, but there's always a few tweaks and whatever. Defense is kind of lacking, I find.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, you kind of need defense to win a chip, right?
Yeah,
so that's
like I
gonna
said
be
last
something to really
episode,
look at.
defense wins championships. And then I believe the Los Angeles Chargers are a contender now. They're like a lot better. They look a lot better. And obviously with Khalil Mack back there now, they look a lot better.
So it really just kind of increases their chances.
These
These LA teams, man, they always they don't come out of nowhere, but these LA teams are always stacked.
It's scary
eventually.
right now because it's not even free agency. And again,
That's
this
right.
video could be literally old by the time that free agency video comes out.
When does free agency start?
I believe it starts on the 16th, so probably by the end of this week.
Yeah, it's very true. That's
So
gonna be
I guess we'll
lot of
start.
stuff
I
to
guess
talk
we'll do
about.
another one after this.
Exactly.
Oh, Tristan, you know what? Do you believe in the Green Bay Revenge Tour?
Man, that's okay. This is a tough one.
Do you believe in the Green Bay Revenge Tour, or do you think they're just going to choke in the NFC Championship again, or not even make it? You're the fan. I need to hear your opinion.
Well, if it was a Disney movie, you know what would happen. But we don't live in a Disney movie, right? So
I was going to say Disney movies. Same.
here's the thing: you franchise tag Adam, so he's at least back for a year, and that's a $25.5 million for 1 year.
Franchise, yeah, something like that. Again, it's very
So,
small money for the 1 year.
It's small money, right? But it's, and then of course Aaron Rodgers is now back. Here's the thing: we originally get the 4-year deal.
He could have been like the highest paid quarterback in the league.
So we're told 4 years for $200 million. Everyone's going crazy on that. I understand, right? It's because do they have the cap space? Not really. They don't got the cap space at all. So the reason why I'm kind of about Revenge Tour, like automatically this means whatever, you're gonna lose a few players, right? And there's a lot to sign still. I can't remember the number specifically how much over the cap you are, but if that 4-year $200 million does account for it, well, you gotta fix your special teams.
Well, again,
I'm not even joking. Everyone's making fun of the special teams, but literally the special teams kind of costed that game, right? So you're gonna have to fix that.
That was such a funny game to watch. I realize we haven't truly talked about NFL since Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's been
a
it's
minute.
been a hot minute since we've actually talked about NFL.
You might lose Darius Smith, right?
Well, the thing, the one thing.
Bakhtiari should be back, so that's nice.
Wow, you really got up on your Packers roster, didn't
man,
you? I don't even know that roster.
It's just signing.
But however,
I think
technically, Aaron Rodgers said that contract hasn't happened.
No, it hasn't.
So
Exactly.
maybe this year you guys take the advantage of free agency, fix all your plot holes, and if he wins you a ring this year, oh my God. You know how great that would be for you guys? Sure. Then you have to deal with the 204-year deal next, but you want a ring because of it.
Well, Tom Grossi was saying one thing when the video he released when the Rodgers news first came out, and it was saying like teams do win the year after they're the most stacked, because this year was kind of the end-all be-all, right? Because everyone knew the cap trouble was coming after this year, and it's most stacked the Packers have been for what, 6, 7, 8 years, right?
Maybe
I would say so. There's controversy on that.
I would probably say the last time they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so
I would say
so 10 years ago, right?
What?
Yeah, 2011, man. It's crazy, right?
Did they win it in 2011? Why do I feel like it was 2010?
It was 2011.
Oh, all right. You're the fan.
But,
I'll believe you this time.
So, I lost my train of thought. That's not good for the podcast.
No, it never is. It's okay. Well, it's just how you track yourself back into.
Oh, so the Tom Grossi. That's what it was.
There we go. Got it.
But that is a true point, right? And that's worth a lot. Not even just football. Like a lot of teams, right? Where you have, or a lot of like leagues where you just have teams, right? They're stacked, and then they do a few shift adjustments, and then boom. I mean, quick hockey little reference: the Lightning, right? They've always been stacked, right? You know, helps with the Kucherov LTIR stuff, but they were, to me, the most stacked the 2019 season, right?
Yeah.
First round lost to the Blue Jackets.
Do you mean 2020?
It was.
I would say they're more stacked in 2020.
I found they were most stacked in 2019, right?
Wow, we're told.
But,
okay, continue.
That's just my opinion. But then, you know, you do a few moves, whatever, and then, well, of course, you have like the whole LTIR stuff. Not saying there ever weren't But I found skill level was decreased just a little bit from the year after, and then they win. They win the two, right? So I think it can correlate back to say with Green Bay in the sense of football. You know, of course, chemistry has. If you do a lot of changes, chemistry is going to play a lot with that. And of course, Rodgers is going to want to probably play with his friends, like you were saying about Randall Cobb, so he might be back. So you have some stuff that might be filled already. We just don't know it yet. But like you said, free agency will be fun to see.
For sure.
And we don't know the Rodgers complete. They might even have it ready and they just haven't announced. Like, they probably know the term and the money, and they just haven't announced it yet, right?
Well, because they technically did announce he got the contract, but then Aaron Rodgers a few hours later was like, hey, technically this isn't going yet. I'm staying for the 1 year and all that. But I think it's like, because was he I'm pretty sure he was a free agent this year, right? Was he a free agent? I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was either his last year or he was a free agent.
This was the last year.
This was his last year?
Yeah.
So they probably maybe gave him a small contract maybe, and then boosted it up for the next 4 years.
See,
or maybe he just said that, be like, hey, if this doesn't go right, I could still have a chance to leave.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was first thinking when I saw the news break. Before I saw like that estimated deal and stuff, I was like, oh, it's probably just a smaller, right? Just a 1 year. One more time, come on, guys, right? Or something like that, and then maybe he'd really think about it. But so I was kind of shocked to see the 4 years.
It was, but weird.
You know what?
It was weird to see that for sure.
It's just so hard with that cap situation. I'm really excited to see what happens in free agency, just because there's so many question marks because of the lack of cap space. And like I said, hypothetically, Rodgers gets the 4 year $200 million, then you're even more in the dumps with the cap problem, right? So
exactly.
I think it really depends on Rodgers' contract, and then I mean that might even have alteration with Adams' contract, right? Because maybe if it's too. See, here's the thing: Rodgers comes back, Adams will probably. That probably gives Adams a reason to stay, right? So Adams will probably want to stay,
why
right?
he accepted the franchise tag.
For sure. But it's just 1 year, right? So it's like that. I think it all depends on term and stuff for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
where do you
around that.
Basing on what they do in free agency, I probably will mention to you this because we'll probably do the next episode after free agency for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I want to mention to you is after I will mention to you this to you again. How do you see the team doing next season? Like, do you actually see them making playoffs? Do you see them making the deep run? Like, what is your actual opinion? Again, I'll ask you this after free agency, but of right now.
As of right now, playoff contender for sure. I mean, if you're not going to change too much, especially the core, there's going to be even hungrier. It sounds weird, right? Because I feel like it's the same conversation all over again from last year and a bit of the year before, even though the ending wasn't what you needed to kind of change that narrative. It's weird because I thought it was going to be a complete different narrative just because I thought Rodgers and Adams were gone. That doesn't seem to be the case now, right? So, I think what's going to happen is they're probably going to not be as dominant in the regular season. So I could see maybe a 12-5, an 11-6, something like that.
Huh?
Maybe in the top of the division, most likely. But you never know, right? It's a sport. Sports are sports. Anything can happen. It's too hard to say like, oh yeah, they're gonna make it now because Rodgers is back and he's coming back with the whole revenge tour.
That's tough. They've been saying that for 10 years.
Exactly,
after the
right?
first one.
So
they've been saying that for 10 years.
That's really what it is. You're asking this question that's being asked has been repeated over and over and over and over and over again. So,
do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
I think so. I know it's just one bowl, and I know it's with the NFL you need to win a bunch of chips, but the way Rodgers is,
yes and no.
A lot of MVPs, man. He deserves those MVPs.
He's broken a lot of stats, and he's won obviously his fair amount of MVPs for sure.
And with a team as franchise as Green Bay, right?
Yeah,
so there's a lot to play with that.
I think one more championship defines Hall of Famer 100%. But I can't believe he only has one. How the hell do you only have one and be that dominant for 10 years? Like, obviously you had Tom Brady in your league, which kind of sucks, but still, he was probably one one of the best QBs.
Is there like a QB curse? Like him and Favre
Well,
are kind of in the same.
There's the Madden curse when a cover athlete gets on the cover and they just shit the bricks, because we've seen that with NHL games, Madden games, like it's all over.
Yeah, literally.
Like it's funny as hell when you really think about it. But I would want Aaron Rodgers to win one. I really do. But it's just, I'd rather them win.
No, yeah.
Again, my team already got screwed over. I want them to go back.
They have at least 3 to 5 years of attempts.
Oh,
Trust me, they're gonna make sure Burrow is nice and comfy in Cincinnati.
Okay, there's a lot of things I quickly want to mention about this team. You guys need to fix the offense, and there's already been tons of talks that we're doing it, and I love it. And however,
definitely the O-line. That was the biggest concern before the playoffs, before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's kind of what caused the loss. I'm not saying it was completely, but
that last play, Chase was open.
when you're forcing Burrow 100 times, as good as he is, but when you're forcing Burrow 100 times to run out of the pocket and make plays, when everyone's being defended and there's really no open areas to pass. How many times are there's going to be some crazy, 3 through the slot, Jamar Chase freaking catch for a 15-yard gain? That happens very rarely because it's a crazy play, right? And
the line is going to be addressed for sure this free agency, for sure. One thing I also noticed, the other thing I mentioned after the Super Bowl, I mentioned this as well as the second thing they need to fix. So I don't know if they're going to keep Eli Apple, but it looks like we're signing there is a good chance that we're going for a corner.
The Rams will probably sign him. He's sold, man.
Eli Apple? After that game? Hell no. No, J.C. Jackson. He's probably a number 1 or a number 2 corner on the Patriots, and it looks like the Bengals are interested in him in free agency as well. So maybe that's the reason why... I'm thinking that's the reason why we franchise tag Jesse Bates this season, was because, hey, we'll give you this much of a cap for right now. We'll go big in the offseason, get Burrow offensive line, get a corner that isn't Eli Apple, burnt toast, and then next season we'll give you the max extension you deserve. I even got him laughing with that one.
Eli Apple, burnt toast.
That one's... I saw so many memes. I saw so many memes roasting the crap out of Eli Apple for being burnt toast after those plays.
Didn't he take off the comments? I felt bad for that. Didn't he take off the comment section on the IG, right?
Okay, not gonna lie, Eli Apple deserved that because he was talking mad smack. But it's a game of where you can talk smack and no one cares.
That is very sports, man. Very bread and circus of people that go after.
I play hockey. I hear it every
exactly.
I hear it. Some of the chirps are so funny,
man,
though.
Since he's fine, I think people are it's. Wait till this is really a conversation for after free agency.
Yeah, for sure. Again, this video will be old in a week. So
yeah, literally.
Let's get as much confidence.
I think we're gonna also talk about Seattle there as well. We kind of already mentioned a bit, but what do you think? So we're talking about the rebuild. I believe they're going for the rebuild. I mean, I think it kind of proves it already. So what do you think they have to do with this rebuild?
All right. So again, I truly never saw Seattle in the situation of needing a rebuild. But obviously now you do. You got rid of your Pro Bowl linebacker who's been with you for 8 years, and he's been a killer for all of them. You obviously got rid of your star QB. So first thing you're probably going to look at is you need a new quarterback because Drew Lock probably won't be your guy. And obviously their head coach, I can't remember his last name, but his name's Pete, and he's been...
Davidson?
No.
No.
I'm like, wait a minute, why does that actually sound like it? But anyways, he's kind of looking on his way of retirement for as a head coach because he's been there for all the Super Bowls with them. And he's been there from the beginning since now they're almost in a rebuild. I think he might be out probably next year and next 2 years. Yeah, so probably the first thing you really need to work on is either a QB. Their offensive line wasn't great because that's probably a reason why Wilson left was because that offensive line wasn't as great as you probably want. There was also a bunch of defensive needs as well. Like, this isn't just like a 2-year rebuild and then jump right back in, because
No, it's not a retool, no, for sure.
I don't think it will be. Like, somehow, again, teams have obviously proven me wrong and retooled so quick, because, like, who's a really good example? Because, like, I keep going to Chicago, but they're not in a good retool right now.
I'm so glad the Bears are owned by Green Bay.
Yeah.
And Rodgers.
Yeah, I feel
We
bad.
own you.
No, the Chicago Bears are in a full rebuild. I was talking about the Blackhawks.
I know you're
in the
talking about the
NHL.
Blackhawks, I know.
Yeah, they tried to retool and it didn't work. It's still failing as we go through this.
I love how we always go back to hockey somehow.
It's because
it's
that's
our-
what we love.
It's
and that's
our roots. It really is.
It's our roots. That's what we love. But hey, we also love football as well, right?
It's called puck and stuff for a reason.
Exactly. Exactly.
Puck and other stuff.
Puck and other stuff. So if you guys do want to hear anything else, though, just drop it in the comments. That would be much
If
appreciated.
you'd like a Batman review,
Ooh, yes, we were thinking about Batman review.
Batman was really good.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
If you guys would love a Batman review and hear our takes on that movie, we would love to give them to you. Just drop it in the comments or leave a like. That's how we'll know. Okay, where was I? Back to football?
Yeah, the Seahawks. I mean, I think I get your answer in kind of.
They look like they're going
Yeah.
in the rebuild. I can't see them going in a... It really depends on next season, because if they do garbage and their stars want out, then you go full rebuild.
How much was Wentz signed for again? Or not
Carson Wentz?
What did I say, Wentz?
Because you somehow love Carson Wentz.
I know. Why did I say Wentz?
Which player? Which player? Give it to me. Give it to me straight,
Oh
dada.
my goodness, I'm going blank. Go back on that. It's kind of off topic, but I'll go back on that.
Yeah, but I don't truly have much to say after that. Like, I was... Oh my god, when I saw the Russell Wilson trade, I was at the gym, and I stop it, I hear my notifications go off, and I see it, it's like Russell Wilson traded to the Broncos. Do you remember Tyler Ruck?
Oh yeah, because
He was at the gym, and he's a huge Seattle fan. I go up to him, and he's like, Wilson just got traded. And he's like, no way, you're joking. He pulls out his phone, checks it, and he's like, oh no. And I start laughing. It was so bad.
That's
But
some
I-
depression feel right there.
Yeah,
man.
that's what every Seahawk fan is dealing with right now. It's like, you just lost your middle linebacker all-star. You just lost Wilson as well. And, like, I get it. I've been a fan of this team long enough, and it's not fun.
So then, who's their new quarterback then?
Seattle's?
Yeah,
Drew Lock. That's
Drew
who they
Lock,
got
right.
from the
Yeah.
Broncos, and he's been...
backup
He's-
would be Geno Smith then, or would it be Jacob Eason?
For...
I guess that'd be kind of second and third string.
Yeah, technically. That would be their second and third string, but... Yeah, because, again, Seattle truly hasn't been in a full rebuild since 2000s. They've
Yeah,
been
it's
like a
been
good
20
dominant team
years.
through all the 2010s.
That's just good prospect picking, right? And drafting and all that. And
Yeah, it took time. They had to find the right coach to do it all, and that's just
well, it
how
almost
management
sounds
needs.
like if the coach is retiring, is there a bit of a boys' club change too? That could be a reason why Russell would want out as well, right?
Actually, I was
Management change. There's not a lot of guarantee, right, with that.
I was actually looking over social media, and I don't know if this is true or not, but there was a lot of controversy between Pete, the head coach, and Russell Wilson, because he
Okay.
said that
Oh,
he
so
felt
yeah.
like there was no trust on either side.
That could, of course,
So
play a part in that.
That is a big part when your head coach and the quarterback don't mix.
There's a lot of rumor, but this is that's like with every league is if you hear a star player beefing with someone in the boys' club, usually the coach or the manager, there's always going to be some crazy event that comes out, either a trade or some crazy reshift of the team, right?
Yeah.
To make one of the ends happy, and so that actually kind of makes sense a bit. But hey, I mean, I guess Seahawks fans just have to get a few years of. I mean, hey, they're no Cleveland Browns fans, right? Like those guys
Oh my
deserve a
God,
little
those
bit
guys.
of.
They deserve it, but at the same time, being a fan of them, it is so
It's just
fucking
funny.
So funny, my guy. It's like, I love it.
So
Tristan, I've said my last words about anything. Do you got anything to add on before we wrap up?
I guess nothing really. I mean, free agency will be nice. There's
it's
a
gonna be
lot of
fun.
news, so I'm excited to see that.
Damn, we got
I
trade deadline
have a
coming up.
complete different opinion on the Packers now that Rodgers and Adams will be back for at least one more year. So hey, won't be as a depressing season as I would think it would be.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, there's some of these trades and stuff has been pretty whatever. Some of these franchise takes they make sense. Some of them was kind of like maybe figure out some different deals. Maybe you want to I don't know. The franchise taking things kind of crazy to me just because it's not in the NHL, so it's not like it's a newer aspect to me. So when I see a franchise tag, sometimes it'll be like why, but it'll make sense in the football term, but not in like hockey term per se.
Well,
like if we had it,
If you could if you want to think of it more of a hockey term, it's basically like, imagine if you're like one of your star players wants to get a big contract.
I get it.
You
get
it.
It's like how they protect like expansion draft, where you like protect the player in a sense, but it's like
yes, it's basically like, hey, we still want to keep you
but
for
it's
the year.
it's limiting their market, their free market.
It's kind of taking
availability,
everything
right?
basically
Yeah.
because the ownership decides if the player could just leave or we franchise tag him because we want him still. So, yeah.
But in a sense, it's kind of like the how they kind of protect. You can like protect players in the expansion draft, where it's not, it's.
Yeah, kind of. I do get
In a
with free
sense,
agency
yeah.
in a sense. Yes, that's
Do you get where I'm coming from? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not like
yeah.
no one can kind of touch you
in
and make calls.
in a hockey
and
sense.
like, yeah.
Yes, I totally get it. But full sense, it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you kind of got it. All right,
So it'll be exciting. Yeah, Broncos too. Woohoo! Yeah, those Broncos were looking good. So gonna have to look at that AFC West for the remainder or for the upcoming season because
it's going to
hey,
be deadly.
the
and-
playoffs now that Brady's gone too. The playoffs are going
God,
to be
yeah.
completely different, right? Like now that you have Cincinnati, you have the Bengals that are going to be contenders. You still have the Chiefs, of course, but now that you have the Broncos that can be, the Packers could still be, the Chargers look like they could be up there as well, right? You still have the Rams.
The AFC just got a lot more stacked and being
49ers could still be up there, right?
just
It's crazy. There's a lot of teams, which is
actually
nice.
they're NFC.
No, I'm just.
you're just mentioning teams,
referring to
okay.
a bunch of teams, like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
The-
The Detroit Lions.
Hey, they're on the they're on the up.
I'm sorry.
They're on the up. I'm
I
not gonna lie. They're on the up. But
Poor Detroit fans, man. Hey man, they have Iserman and for the
who
Wings.
do you feel more bad for though? Detroit fans or Cleveland fans?
Well, no, and I feel worse for Pittsburgh fans.
No. They at least have
I-
2 Super Bowls.
The Steelers are like a cock tease, man. That's what they are.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, and then.
The difference is with the Steelers, though, they at least have the rings to show up for it. Like, my team doesn't have any rings.
Oh yeah.
I
for
thought
rings,
we had
but-
3 chances to win rings, and we lost all of them.
Actually, you know what? No,
very
Steelers should still
depressing.
stay bad or still stay overrated just so we can have urinating tree just go off on rants again.
Oh, I love him.
You know,
I
there's
love
always
that
some
guy.
good entertainment with
Shout
stuff
out
like
to
that.
Underrating Tree. He is actually so funny. Great guy.
But no, in reality, like there's so many. Like it's just gonna be it's a different ball game now from the span of like 2 years, right? So
I guess we'll have to expand
exciting.
on that for next week, eh?
exactly.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Anyways, I think that'll be wrapping up NFL edition number 2 for today. Eh, Trist? You think so?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'll
Well,
give you your last words if you want to do anything
for
else.
sure. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching too. Wow, that's something. Hopefully we can get more of this video going. I don't know how consistent we'll get the video going. It'll be good for like people who watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
Nothing really changes for the ones who listen or download on Spotify. But thank you guys so much for watching, downloading, and listening. We appreciate all the support. If you have anything else, if you have any questions, quandaries, or queries, just put it in the comment section below. And hey, Brendan.
Oh, you're bringing it over to me
Yeah.
now? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening today. We'll obviously try getting more content. Back to the Batman thing. If you guys want to listen to a Batman review and love Batman and us, just give a thumbs up and leave a comment. Also, subscribe. That would be great to both of us. We love that you guys are listening. And we'll hopefully see you on the flip side. See ya.